Hi, my name is Jeffrey. I'm the City Director of Medan. I studied abroad for 10 years before coming back to Medan, and currently right now I'm the CEO of my family's business. We are doing trucking right now. Other than that, I like to serve in the church, especially leading communities in Medan. I'm a man who likes to learn lots of things. That's why I pick up a lot of hobbies. I like to do lots of sports. I'm a nerd too. I love collect figurines. I like to play games, playing board games. At the same time, I like to go on adventure too. So yeah, and other than that, I like to learn and I like to teach. What keeps me motivated is doing what I should be doing. In other words, my identity, once I truly grounded that I know I'm a Christian, like that really keeps me going. Like I start asking questions like what should a Christian do? What would the Lord want me to do? And that's also why God brings me to Resource Global, reconciling with my family, serving the Lord, taking care of the people working under me, also the communities, my friends, just equipping them, bringing a healthier culture that I had from Resource Global, from what I had the time I've had in Sydney. That just keeps me going. I guess you can say that impacting people keeps me going, if I have to put it in layman's terms. I guess there was an incident. My family hasn't truly accepted me as a Christian, and unfortunately, at the same time, I ran for a community to seek for support, which kind of backfired, and that gave me a really hard time. And I wasn't really a strong believer. I said I'm a Christian, but I don't really pray. I don't really care much about the Bible. But that incident, because I had no one, I couldn't turn to my family, I couldn't turn to my friends. I'm still new to the city. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of Christian friends. I had to turn to God, and I mean, that was a really difficult time. I was really depressed, had suicidal thoughts. But then God brought me out of that hole, giving me a new identity, like who I am, that I am worthy before Him. I don't have to have acknowledgement from my family or even friends. And coming out of that makes me really energized, and I'm starting to not look at what I need, but also now that God has provided with what I need, I'm starting to look outward. Okay, what do people need? People need the community. I don't want people to experience what I had when they turn to that community, and just equipping them. You got to do this. You got to take care, not just about ourselves, but for others too, leading them to Christ and allow the Holy Spirit to do His magic. At one point, I realized that, just out of the blue, back then I worked from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. That's 15 hours of work in a day, and I work from Monday to Saturday, and sometimes I go to the office on Sunday. I realized that I spend most of my waking hour at work, and to be honest, God was not in any of those. And at one point I just started to question my salvation, and when I heard about Resource Global, an organization that equips young people to serve the Lord in a marketplace, I'm in Medan. I mean, I just know that I gotta go. I went to the Icon conference. It was awesome. And yeah, I mean, when the cohort opens, I just sign up, and now I'm a graduate. Yeah, I think especially now, this is really the right time for to launch a cohort in Medan, because I think during my time when I came back, a lot of the people from overseas coming back continue their family business. We, including myself, we cannot fully accept the work culture in Medan, especially coming from our family. It's not easy working for our parents. A lot of people actually left the city and start their own business or work for someone else. But right now, there's actually a rising number of people who choose to stay and help his parents despite the unpleasant culture here in Medan. And they really want to make an impact. I've had several conversations with people that I've met, and that's why I think this is just the right time for to start a cohort in Medan. we gotta respect the elders no matter what, right? But that doesn't mean that they have the ultimate authority over everything. So here, one of the not very good culture here is that the elders are always right. So they are unable to be objective, and us, the younger generation, have difficult time to voice out our opinion because we are continuously being shut down all the time. And not to mention the gray areas. I don't know if you guys know, North Sumatra is voted one of the most corrupted province in Indonesia. And it's not easy doing business here. There's a lot of temptation, to do shady stuff here. And unfortunately, our previous generation do it. And as a Christian, it's hard for us to fully accept that. That's why it's hard to stay. I really hope that the cohort can learn so much from the mentors of Resource Global. Also the community, just knowing that they're not alone in all of this, to be encouraged to do gospel impact. That is not weird. You're not weird at all. God actually wants us to do all of this in this city. That's why we are here. And I think that's the first and foremost for them, the cohort, to transform the culture in their area of influence. And also after they graduate, after they transform their workplace, I hope that they can see beyond that and start transforming the city, or probably start mentoring the future cohorts in Medan. And I hope that it's gonna generate even more cohort members of Resource Global. And also, work is not something that we talk elaborately in church. And I think it's such an important part of our life that is being neglected by, not being mentioned a lot in church. I really hope that the cohort can bring that to their small groups, to their church, and really brings out the topic that, hey, we cannot abandon. Lord is, in our workplace, no matter whether we want it, like it or not, we gotta still glorify the Lord in our workplace. We gotta be a good steward of whatever we own. And I guess that's my vision or dream of what's gonna happen in Medan in the future.